Hi there everyone, it's Gloria Kramer from Oakville, Canada, and right now we are going to be making our card number 3 of my Whimsical Trees product-based online class. So, if you have my kit, you'll have everything pre-cut, pre-scored, dry embossed for you. Everything is included except adhesive and stamped images as per Stampin' Up! Policy. So this is the stamp set that I used along with the dies. So let's get started. So we're going to put this card right here on the corner. We're going to take out all our little pieces. Now, if you don't have the stamp set, so with this card here, I stamped it with this stamp that came with the set. Now, if you don't have that, don't worry, you can still make this card. What we're going to do is I'll show you what you can do if you don't have it. So we're going to take what did I just do? We're going to take a sponge dauber, and then we're going to take some green ink. And this one is garden green. It coordinates with the DSP and the ribbon that I'm using for this card. And I'm just going to sponge on some color. Now, if you want the edges a little darker, you can just take your sponge dauber and add some extra color. Now, if you want your little stem there to be brown, I'm just going to use my blend marker, and this is in bronze, and I'm just going to do the tip there. Color it in brown. In fact, if you want, you can sort of do that for your tree as well. I don't know if he'll come out. But there, so now we have a brown stem. Now, what we can also do is take the Whimsical. This is Whimsical, and just to put some glitter on there. Glitter it up, and then we can stamp a sentiment. Now, the sentiment that I used in my card here is from the stamp set. If you don't have it, you can use something else. So let me find. Let's see if we can find something else to use. I don't know if that might fit. This one says, actually this might be a little too big. This one's a little too big, but that's okay. I'll show you how you can use it anyways. So we'll just use a different piece of cardstock. And I'm just gonna stick with basic black ink for this sentiment. I think black works. This one says Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas. And this is from the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. It also has coordinating dies as well. So I'm going to stamp this one like this. And then what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to trim it. And you'll see it's going to look a little different. But I understand that sometimes when you're making cards at home, you're not going to have everything that I have. But you can still make a card very similar to what I make, just using whatever stamps you already own. And you can always like make some little adjustments here and there. You don't have to use exactly what I use. And sometimes you'll find even when you go and use your own stuff, it might actually look better than mine. I've had a couple of girls who have come to class, or they've gotten the kits and they do their own little changes and variations, and it's like, oh wow, that actually looks better than mine. So that's happened in class as well, when we used to have classes, in-person classes, something that seems so foreign right now. And I just noticed this one is missing the background piece, so I'm gonna pull one out from one of my extra kits. Yikes, I can't. Okay, so we have this little piece here. We're going to stick our ribbon through the hole at the top. And then you're going to want to trim the ribbon so that doesn't stick out once you put your card together. You're going to take the white twine and you're just going to tie a nice little bow. You can also do a knot if tying a bow is too difficult. So there's our bow. I'm going to trim the ends off. Just a little loop here. Trim, and then so there we've trimmed the ends. And then we're just gonna sort of put it all together because we now have all the pieces. So with the snowflake, again, there's a shiny side and not so shiny side. You're gonna put the glue on the not so shiny side. I'm using Tombow glue because I use it for everything. It has a nice fine tip that makes putting it on small, delicate pieces really easy. So we have our snowflake, and we're just gonna put that on there. Next, we're gonna pop this up using dimensionals. These are these little pop-up dots. Now, everything I use for these cards are Stampin' Up. I try to use current products. Every so often, I will use something that is retired. But I would say 99% of everything I used for these cards are from Stampin' Up. So, okay, now we're going to stick this on there. Leaving about a 1/8 of an inch on the bottom. Now this sentiment is a little bigger than the original. So if you have something that is bigger, you can actually do something like this, or you can just not use this piece at all, which I think is what I'm gonna do. So next step is we're gonna just glue this piece onto the lighter green here. That lighter green is soft sea foam. This tree was cut out using DSP from the Celebration. So Celebration is the twice a year event that Stampin' Up! Has, where when you spend $60, you get to pick a free gift from their Celebration catalog. So free stuff is always good. Okay, so there's my tree. Again, I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to stick on my tree. And then I'm going to tuck this other green tree sort of right in behind, and I'm going to glue that down with my combo glue. There's your tree. I'm going to put my sentiment right over here. I'm going to stick one big dimensional right in the middle to pop it up. Here comes my doggy. Now, if I wanted to use this, I can still use this. What I'm going to do is and turn it into a little banner. Turn this into a banner, and I'm just going to tuck that right in there. I think that will work. Except I don't need it to be that long. My little snail adhesive that is not working right now. Not sure why. So Sometimes this works perfectly, and then other times it's a bit of a pain. Okay, so now we're going to just tuck this in there. Okay, and do it like that. Give it a little press, and then we have our embellishments in this little baggie here. So I'm going to put this big one right in the center of the big snowflake. I'm going to put my heart. Whoops, there it goes. I'm going to put this heart right over here on the red. Now the heart is retired. It's no longer available, but it is Stampin' Up. So I'm going to put that right there. And then the little pearls, I'm just going to put it onto my tree. Onto my big tree. Of course, I have these pieces stuck all over me. That's my dog scratching himself in the background. I don't know if you can hear it or not. We've got our little dog and our big dog. And there. Now, what we can do is we're going to take this and we're just going to mount it on there. So if you wanted to, you could give it more dimension. You can pop it up on pop dots, but I think I'm going to just lay this flat. I think there's enough pop to it already. So this corner piece pops up quite a bit. So I don't think it needs to be popped up anymore. Now we're just going to lay this, and again, leaving about 1/8 of an inch all around. And here is our finished card. So again, I've used, for this one, I used the stamp that comes with the stamp set. For this one, I just used a different stamp set, and it still works. So thanks again for joining me. I have one more card coming, and happy Sunday.